All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Shinsekai Yori, episode 19.
All right,
Well,
this is fucked. Yakumaru has pulled a fast one. He's attacked the humans, the gods.
Become as gods.
Yes.
Yeah. This is messy. This is all kinds of bad. Apparently, they have the ability to have access to power somehow. Probably through a child of some kind that
might have
they've
been
fostering.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now they did their attack. It was repulsed, rebuffed. But now what do the gods do? How do they exact their vengeance and recompense for what has been done this night?
Right. A lot of them seem fired up, but you lost one of your strongest adults. So yeah. Good luck with fighting, them on their own turf, potentially in such a way where they're ready now for you. And also, given that this was their surprise attack, right? But this is not necessarily any large portion of their forces.
Nope.
And
there's a lot of them and not very many of you.
I definitely would not want to try and deal with guerrilla warfare monster rats.
At that point, you just gotta
semi-modern weaponry,
burn everything you see.
Well, right, but that's what you literally have to do is just. Yeah, but then at that point, the destruction is so intense that haven't you then ruined, everything?
Who cares what happens outside the confines of the town?
I mean, they need resources.
Yeah, they'll be fine. It'll grow back eventually.
All right, well, here we go, y'all. Without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone. Now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below. Then come back here for the discussion. Holy shit. That was terrifying.
That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, it's clearly Maria and Mamoru's child.
At the very least, we can say with confidence that it is someone of small enough stature. It is almost definitely a child, because when we saw the shape of the haze and stuff, and where it became full haze versus just mist, and then the guy, it's very small.
Probably about 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
At least.
Right.
But probably no taller than 4'6", 4'7".
Yeah. So, okay. This is the situation.
Yeah.
And it was taking people captive.
Right.
Holy shit.
Men and women. Which is terrifying.
Why put all your eggs in one basket, metaphor about
from Yakumaru's perspective,
I was like, why put all your eggs in one basket? And I'm oh shit, they're actually literally after. Okay.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But from Yakumaru's perspective, if he's got a kid with power that can be used in this way, he doesn't necessarily fully understand the death of shame.
Right. He did get the false Minishiro.
But that's the thing. We don't know that. That's under the assumptions.
We don't officially know it. There's a very high likelihood that they got one, and if they do, then he might know about that.
Right, but the thing is that we still could have this be a thing where it's actually just Maria and Mamoru,
and they got information from them because they saw false Minishiro. Sure.
Yeah. And the thing that would have been either tested, and this is where I think this is really scary, is whether or not Yakumaru knows about the death of shame from false Minishiro, Maria and Mamoru, or just from, this is really fucked, but I just thought of this, using the child to kill the parents. The child could have literally killed their own
and then they weren't
parents.
able to defend themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh.
Sure.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah,
and then he just raises this child.
Right.
Now, all that to say, what we have right now is a weapon that is going rampant. It can't be stopped.
Nope.
It is terrifying. It is,
If we were to have a person that can maybe stop it, the guy from the previous episode that's the super badass, double pupil guy, I could see him being capable of killing it and then the death of shame killing him in retaliation.
Right.
But I could see that happening.
Right.
Apart from that, they're kind of screwed. It's just, okay, hope that it doesn't find us, inform the rest of, humanity, and just Just run.
We have to abandon Japan, basically. Just leave the island of Japan. It'll probably just wander around, and it won't be able to survive off of food, and then it'll just starve to death.
Well, the tough part is that it has intelligent people guiding it.
Yes,
right?
that's the main problem.
Because it's not just the fact that an ogre exists. It's the fact that an ogre is specifically allied with Yakumaru and the monster rats.
And did nothing to the robber flies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which means that even if you were to say leave Japan, I could see, the monster rats just being like, oh no, we can go after them just to tie up loose ends, secure our position here.
Yeah, the people here though would be able to get away. The difference is that will their pride, their arrogance, and or just their slow reaction time to this chaotic of event keep them from being able to do anything. And this is the other thing we haven't really fully talked about as much. Do the higher-ups still know some things about the state of humanity as such that it's actually really bad to leave Japan? Like Japan might be only a few islands of sorts left that are even inhabitable in general.
Well, and what happens if you run into ogres that are out there?
Or any kind of other shit.
And one of the other things that was shown this episode, and I really liked that this was brought up, is that the by and large, the citizens of humanity, they are not soldiers.
Right.
So even if they have power, even if they are capable of wiping out mass amounts of monster rats, without much effort,
they've never had to really fight anything.
Right, exactly.
They just kind of wave their hands and
they wave their hands and the problem goes away, and then they have to deal with maybe the smell and the fact that they know that they just ended the
psychological damage. Yeah.
Right. The emotional damage. But when it comes to like, hey, no, you're in a situation where you could and probably will die a horrible death.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hold your breath,
under pressure.
Subdue your fear. That kind of response and stuff like that. Many of them just don't. They're not ready for that.
They are not able to do that. Like, which makes
even Satoru can't do that.
Right.
Like in some ways, that's what makes Saki so amazing is that she's the one that kind of can do that.
Yep. So now we have potentially the conflict for the whole rest of the show. Like, I could see this being who knows, maybe they get this resolved in a couple episodes,
I doubt it.
But I doubt it.
And
because it's also the whole thing of where, even though we, the audience, can probably kind of piece together, who this ogre is, the characters don't necessarily know that yet. So
they have suspicions.
They have suspicions.
Yeah, they are smart enough.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I would be surprised if they didn't figure it out in the next episode.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they figured it out, but they're in such fear right now
that
they don't want to talk about it. They want to get out of here and live. Yeah. And which, by the way, the thing is already behind them in their decoy boat, 100 meters behind them. And what can they do?
Yeah.
Do they split up? Do they just both go different ways?
I would not be surprised if this was the point where Satoru dies.
I mean,
because like, we hear Saki, being old and all that stuff and giving the narration and exposition and things like that. But I get the feeling that she is alone.
Yeah.
Right. And also, as far as really being personally like it would have been better if Maria had never been born. Yes. If this is assuming that this is Maria and Mamoru's child, yes, this has already caused untold devastation and killed tons and tons of people, right?
Oh god.
But if it's something where then it kills someone that was like one of the closest people that she knew, right? Then that would add even extra bite to her saying that, rather than just saying from a mechanical perspective of a shit ton of people died. Yeah, they just numbers game. It would have been better if they had never been born.
I just realized something.
What?
I don't really want to say it out loud, but I think it's not the case because it seems like there's only one.
Okay.
But the way they could actually theoretically have more than one ogre is really kind of fucked up. But yeah, I want you to infer without me having to say it, basically. But it's reason why it would be potentially a little bit more loyal also to the monster rats and be able to understand. I
think that is a possibility.
I don't think that's the case here, though. But
I don't think that's the case
I thought
here.
of it just as like That's super fucked up. But
from the standpoint of Yakimaru, given that he might not know exactly how the whole power thing works, I imagine that just from a scientific method perspective, you'd want to have at least the first experiment be in a controlled environment with no variables.
Yes.
And then you introduce variables one by one.
Right, which is just the worry of bringing up, because you said, reminded me of it'd be better if Mari had never been born. I just realized again the way that it could be, for Maria's sake, it'd have been better if she'd never been born, it's that Mamoru is the only one that's dead right now.
Although they did mention that they got the bones and they did the DNA and dental and all of that stuff, and so it's those two are dead.
Yes, but that could be after experiments. And,
because
and that's why hostages are now the go-to.
Well, right, because assuming it's their child and they because of 9 months and all that stuff, and the seasons changing and that being the thing that made them
also it was a 10-year
able to find
time
bodies
skip too.
No, right, but because assuming that Yakimaru did what he said what he was going to do and put the bones in there, so that when the snow melts they could find them and all that stuff. So it was within the less than a year later, right? By the turn of the season or whatever, right? He managed to do that. That's already something that's a bit iffy as far as Maria and Mamoru having a child, but theoretically, like there could be wiggle room. It ends up working. He now has just the one ogre. Now he needs to get more. So he really does need to get prisoners, because he's smart enough to know that he does not want a single point of failure. He also would not want something where if suddenly this ogre decided for some reason to turn on them, he'd want there to be other ogres, ideally, that could then put the other ogre down. So, this is a hell of a development.
Yeah, I also really like the idea that from Yakimaru's perspective, he attacked the gods basically with just monster rats in the beginning, but he had the ogre specifically go and try to round up people that would be they would be more defenseless than the gods at the festival.
Right. Which also is shows how well he's thought this out, because one, he used the tarantula hawks to do the actual attack. So it's if you're gonna work with us, you need to do one of the more dangerous missions at the beginning, right?
We'll literally turn the false god on you.
Exactly. Then by doing that, they're expendable, but he doesn't reveal the fact that he has an ogre, because that'd be bad. Then people, he knows or has learned or whatever that they'll do the whole groups of 5 thing.
And from
that'll be no problem for an ogre.
Right, but then from here I can also take over all the other monster rats and have them all serve me. Because I can use this as an example that they then spread the story of you either serve Yakimaru or he turns one of the gods on you that he has literally, which of course he got the idea entirely from when he had Satoru do that thing for him. So
and he's like, oh, this is nice. I can get used to this.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Yeah, here we are.
Here we are. Yep. And the hospital scene was amazing.
It's great.
The terror of having things switch into a full-on horror thing where you have the unkillable monster that they're hiding from. Every breath counts. The psychologically broken humans that are like, just run. I love as a storyteller, but also in like the just the DM kind of TTRPG kind of standpoint of introducing the people that are restrained, and the heroes come in and they break them out, and their first instinct while they're like frothing and their eyes are wandering is just saying run from it. And that puts just such fear, such primal fear, especially when you have as the world building established that every single one of these people is on the level of a god in terms of power. You basically say, wait, something scared the shit out of 3 of you, or something killed everybody else here, and you 3 survived.
Well, yeah, because that's the terrifying thing. Not just, now granted, yes, they were probably drugged, and so that's how you can keep a god subdued and not have to worry about it. But
or maybe why they were the ones taken hostage.
Sure.
It's they were easy.
Yeah.
They just walked up and went, shh,
Yep. But being able to kill someone with power, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Being able to take them prisoner, that is a whole other. Because then you're dealing with a very finely balanced, like, sword of Damocles, where if anything goes wrong, they wipe out everything in, a half-mile radius, right? So if you feel confident actually taking them prisoner, that means you feel very confident that you have something that is like either yes, they will never get to the point where they can fight back, you know,
Right.
drug them very well or whatever, and or you have something that is overwhelmingly stronger, so that even if they do get out, it won't be a problem.
Yeah. I can't wait for this ogre's presence in the story to force the other adults to reveal to us, the audience, the ways in which they've grown in learning how to handle the worst possible situation since the last one happened like 100 years ago or whatever that was.
I wouldn't be surprised if
they turn things like trickster cats or something like that. Like they get things basically that would be their creations and be like, we need to sacrifice some people to draw it into the situation where we can hope that the creatures can do the job for us.
And yet, let's be real. I don't think they have any way of actually dealing with this other than the really powerful guy doing like a I'll take you down with me kind of a thing, because they've been so, rightfully so, paranoidly focused on prevention. I don't think they actually have a way to deal with the situation now that it's happened.
How did they deal with the one before though? What was
I think it was someone that took it out and died of the death of shame.
Yeah.
I think that was what happened. So
okay,
but like
who's gonna willingly fall on their sword? I think the only person here in the story that would do that from a character standpoint is Satoru's grandma.
Oh yeah, okay. Satoru's grandma and the badass.
I think we have
double
three
people guy.
Yeah, I think we have three.
We've
people
got three solid
that would
candidates,
willingly do it,
which is great because that means we can have times that it fails. Because again, just that little bit of hesitation is all you need.
Yep.
And then you're done.
Yeah. But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below. For our Patreon, you can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.